For the first time since the tragic school shooting,
that he doesn't think they're going to be brave enough if it happens again.
it's back to class in Uvalde, Texas. A holiday weekend rally for former President Trump.
Republicans and the MAGA movement are not the ones trying to undermine our democracy.
As his legal team gets good news. And rolling back the clock for $3 movies.
I hope people come out to the movies more often because it is an experience.
These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Kenya Cardone.
I'm Kelly Sanchez. Today is Tuesday, September 6, 2022.
Live from the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Uvalde parents and community members reaching deep for their strength as they face a new school year for the first time since the tragedy at Robb Elementary School. Robb Elementary School itself remains closed. The students split among other neighboring schools, some opting instead for home or online schooling.
As the network's Christy Hernandez reports, the holiday weekend ended with a special tribute to the families.
Today is the first day of classes for the Uvalde School District. Some parents and students still have reservations about returning back to school.
I talked to my son and I told him that they're going to have higher fencing, they're going to have more DPS cops, and he just wasn't having it.
This Uvalde parent shares his kids' fears and concerns about going back to the classroom and the DPS officers that will be on campus.
That he doesn't think they're going to be brave enough if it happens again. They're not going to go in there. They didn't go in there before, and he wants different cops.
Many parents are frustrated and want answers on whether the DPS cops will be the same ones that were at Robb Elementary on the day of the shooting.
You can't get an answer. They won't give us an answer whether it's going to be the same people. The same school resource officers that were there, they're going to be there on campus too.
It has been a little over 3 months since the school shooting that killed 19 students and 2 teachers. The school year usually starts in August, but was pushed back to give the community more time to prepare for this academic year. This past weekend was the annual Palomino Fest, and this year there was a different sentiment.
The theme for Palomino Fest this year is Uvalde Strong.
Sunday morning, the families of the 21 victims participated in the festival's parade, holding posters of the faces and names of those that lost their lives on May 24th.
So the pain's still there, we can still enjoy what little life there is, because life's short. You never know what can happen.
This is Christy Hernandez reporting for the South Florida Media Network.
Former President Donald Trump scored a win in federal court over his request for a special master. Yesterday, a federal judge approved the appointment of an independent third-party attorney who would review the records seized by the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago last month. For now, the DOJ will pause its review of the seized documents until a special master's review is complete.
Former President Trump made his first appearance at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania after FBI agents searched his home last month for classified and top-secret documents the Justice Department says were taken from the White House without authorization. Reporter Juliana Narvaez from our D.C. bureau is in Washington this morning.
Following President Joe Biden's primetime speech on the threat to democracy last Thursday, Donald Trump responded to Biden's condemnation of his followers in a Saturday rally in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
The rally was billed as support for Republican candidates Mehmet Oz and Doug Mastriano, with Trump taking the stage to argue that his supporters are no threat to American democracy.
Republicans and the MAGA movement are not the ones trying to undermine our democracy. We are the ones trying to save our democracy. Very simple.
Trump also discussed the FBI raid on his home in early August, condemning Biden as an enemy of the state, and criticized the FBI for their search, with much support from not only the audience, but other speakers at the rally.
Oh, and I definitely think the upper echelon of the Department of Justice and FBI does not deserve a paycheck.
Aside from the raid, Trump discussed various familiar topics surrounding the false claims that the 2020 election was stolen from him, attacks on the Democratic Party, as well as promising to save the country.
Donald Trump is currently under investigation for the files recovered from his home in August, with a Florida judge granting a request to allow for an independent arbiter to review the materials gathered by federal agents. From Washington, D.C., for the South Florida Media Network, this is Juliana Narvaez.
This morning, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has identified the victim in the weekend alligator attack in Bradenton as a 77-year-old woman. It all happened Saturday at 6 p.m. when the FWC received a call about a nearly 8-foot alligator attacking a woman at a retirement community. After the woman was bitten, a witness kept an eye on the alligator until first responders were able to capture it. According to a wildlife rescue expert, alligators don't usually attack people walking by unless they've been fed.
But if he just got up on the bank, ran at her, knowing that she's a human being, something bigger than her, someone has fed him, and he's going to have to be taken out.
The woman was taken to the hospital to be treated for her injuries, and as of this morning, she was still under medical evaluation.
Labor Day weekend in South Florida, the unofficial end to summer. The network's Layana Butarbush brings us the sights and sounds.
We're here at South Point Park to show you how the people of Miami celebrate their Labor Weekend under the Miami sunshine.
We did some swimming. There were a lot of jellyfish out, so we were careful. Yeah, it's been a good day.
But we just saw a bunch of dumb people fighting.
And for now, we're gonna go get something to eat, spend the rest of the day in the pool, but we've had a fun day here at the beach. Who doesn't love the beach?
We were just hanging out, having a good time. I learned how to backflip, which is like out of nowhere. And yeah.
Well, the weather's been beautiful, so that's been really nice. And we just wanted to just come with the family, spend some time in this gorgeous paradise, and just take it easy.
The beach is not the only place you can go to on Labor Day. Bayside Marketplace is another hot spot located at the heart of downtown Miami where people can shop and enjoy good food.
We are a tourist here, so I think we went for a boat tour, then had a good lunch, and now we are going to South Beach.
Actually, I'm visiting from Chicago. We're just doing a bunch of touristy stuff, but right now we have a boat lined up. And that should capture our last tour here, and then we leave tomorrow, but Florida's been treating us nice.
We really didn't have anything planned for Labor Day, no more than the Thriller boat ride. However, we've been out here shopping, and I just got my little face done, so hey, that's it.
As you can see, it was a good day to be out enjoying Miami's beaches before heading back to work. Reporting for the South Florida Media Network, Leanne Abutarbush.
Luxury cars being hauled to Miami go up in flames on I-95.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
The sales what really brought me back.
Movie theaters are taking you back in time, but it's not with the plot of a new film, it's with their ticket prices. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music.
Yeah.
Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
I help our fellows design their paths as creative entrepreneurs. My experiences serving startups, creative businesses, and cultural organizations, and my journey as a queer mixed immigrant with Haitian and Arabic roots, inform the co-creative environment we foster at Radcliffe. We leverage our collective diversity to encourage the building of lifelong personal learning networks and mindsets that stimulate continuous innovation.
A blown tire caused a truckload of luxury cars headed to South Florida to be destroyed. On its way to Miami from New York City Sunday, a truck caught fire on Interstate 95 near Raleigh, North Carolina. After the driver tried to extinguish the flames, the fire ultimately became too large, engulfing all 6 cars.
$3 tickets hoping to draw customers back to the theaters.
The network's Samantha Gutierrez takes us to the movies.
Kicking off Labor Day weekend, families and friends came together and enjoyed a movie in theaters for just $3. One movie ticket, please.
This is actually my first time in the movies in like 3 years. The sale is what really brought me back. I mean, you come to the theater and you see the next upcoming movies and you get excited. So, you know, it's kind of like a jump rope effect. You get, you know, you got the first jump and now you want to get the second one.
Since the rise of streaming platforms back in 2020, research has shown that moviegoers prefer to stream movies at home rather than come to the theaters.
I stopped working for AMC like 2 or 3 years ago, and coming back after COVID, you can see the difference for sure. A lot less people. It's just more of people that actually like going to the movies versus people that'd rather just stay home and not have to deal with anybody around them. So it's definitely more of a personal choice, but I hope people come out to the movies more often because it is an experience.
I think the bringing the prices down for the tickets is going to be a big help, and I wouldn't be surprised if it sets like a new record or something.
It's safe to say that the first National Cinema Day was a success,
bringing in 8.1 million moviegoers instead of a usually slow Labor Day weekend.
Signing off for South Florida Media Network, I'm Samantha Gutierrez.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Kelly Sanchez.
I'm Kenya Cardone. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.